Welcome, everyone, to the Bonvenu Coaches Show. We are live here at Flying Heart Pub. Is this a pub?
Brewing.
Flying Heart Brewery. They brew beer, but they also cook pizza, wings. It's a really, really hopping spot. Chris, how do you feel tonight?
No pun intended.
It is hopping. I didn't mean that. I meant that.
Okay.
That was a great pun.
There ain't no way you meant that.
I mean, for a Tuesday, it's hopping. It really is. There's a lot of people in
It's
here.
not bad for a Tuesday.
It is.
No.
I'm doing good. So Chris Smith, I got Keith Sutton with us, Wes Marriott, obviously, and we have the general manager of Louisiana Rouxgaroux, Mr. Steve Walters.
Hey.
Welcome, Steve.
Thank
Welcome,
you guys
Steve.
for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Glad you came.
Not a coach, but the general manager.
Probably
so
one of the more important people in the
I
front
was fixing
office.
to say, he might not be a coach, but he does the personnel moves, which, by the way, we have some personnel moves we'll talk about later.
That's right.
Actually, we'll talk about them right now.
Okay.
You ready?
No, I'm just kidding. I like throwing Keith a wrench in the
Yeah, I
works
like that
there.
you did that.
Well, so last week we had Coach Cam on the show. Terrific, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, that
he
was
is.
one of the best conversations we ever had. And we joked with him. He's like, man, I'm surprised that y'all started with me first. And I said, well, we want to start with, we got to break it in. So we got to start with someone small and then work our way up. And we decided, let's just go straight to
We'll go
GM.
straight to the GM, yeah.
That's right. That works.
Because you have a lot of experience in arena football specifically. I imagine that's probably how you ended up here in Bossier City, Shreveport, was because of your experience in arena football. Tell us about that.
So the last 2.5 years, or actually about 3 years now, I ran a football team up in Duluth, Minnesota called the Duluth Harbor Monsters. When I left the organization, it had changed names and changed hands and had become the Minnesota Monsters, which are now in the AF1.
Oh, nice.
Right. At the time, though, and completely undefeated and have never lost a championship are the Duluth Harbor Monsters in the TAL, the Arena League. That's what TAL is for. And so we won back-to-back championships up there. We had a very, very successful organization on the turf, but then also off the turf, we were really got to be entrenched in the community.
Yeah.
We had our players and our mascot in every single school in the entire area. It was a really big piece of pride that every single time I dropped my kids off at school or picked them up, whenever I saw Harbor Monster hats walking by or Harbor Monster backpacks walking by, it's like, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
That is
They
cool.
love us. Yeah.
So have y'all tried to incorporate that? Have you tried to incorporate that down here since you come down here to the great city of Bossier City and Shreveport?
Yes, but I've only been here for 4 weeks. That's the only problem.
We'll give you some time. You got time.
It's
You got a little runway
Right.
to take care of business.
Right. So a lot of the issues being only 4 weeks is that we were trying to plan and implement everything kind of at the same time versus normally in an off season you do all your planning, all your partnerships, everything takes place over 6 months or whatever, and then your last month before the season is we're just carrying it out now.
Right.
We came in right as the season was about to kick off, essentially. So you're
Yeah.
planning and then executing at the same time.
Yeah.
And you have the business side of the team, but also we've got to win football games. We've got to be competitive.
Right.
So that's part of your responsibility too, as well.
Right. It's a balancing act. Obviously, anybody can go out there and spend a crap ton of money and then all of a sudden win everything. But then it's also what is good for your market.
Yep.
That was one thing up in Duluth. I had players, especially by year two. By year two, I kind of weeded out a lot of different players, and I'm not going to take all the credit. I had an amazing scout that helped build that entire team out there. I had an amazing coaching staff to help build that team that was up there. But what I was going to say is I had players that I could have in the community that were awesome, that people loved to talk to, that they loved to be talked to.
Right.
They loved going into the schools. They loved being on the radio. I brought in some different players that were they had NFL helmets. I needed them on this team because they were a big deal.
Right.
That is
And then I had them on the team, and I was immediately going to put him on all these different morning shows. He's got a Jets helmet. I need him to be on every single morning radio show possible. And then we did back-to-back radio shows. And I was like, all right. We do not need you on the radio anymore. So,
We kind of have that relationship with Keith. Keith has been on with
That's
us for
exactly
5
how they
years,
treat
and
me.
we're
They actually call me the fumbler because I fumble my words so bad that they don't let me do much live. So
he had a voice only for radio, but he also probably just needed to be on the football field.
yes. He was, I didn't realize at the time that it was like, okay, you go catch ball. That's what you do. You go catch ball. Don't worry about anything else, buddy. Yes.
So definitely. Go ahead, Chris.
So transitioning from Minnesota to Louisiana, weather's different.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Very much so. There's still a lot of snow up there. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But what else? So the team that you work for was not an NAL team. So is there any differences between NAL and TAL? Or
There are, in a lot of ways, all these different leagues are built very, very similar.
Okay.
Obviously, they're all playing in a hockey arena. They have a lot of the very similar rules. A lot of it comes down to a couple different minor things. The TAL had less players. It was 7-on-7 versus 8-on-8. So we had less linemen. So you had in the TAL, the center was the only person that could not catch a ball. Everybody else was an eligible receiver. So really,
Tricky. You could do some really tricky stuff there.
It was a wild time.
Yeah.
So you kind of built up your entire line with tight ends instead of big heavy linemen.
boys. Yeah.
Right. So that way you never knew who you were supposed to cover or who you're not supposed to cover. And you can build the line up and shift it around however you need to.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm not going to take credit for any of that. I'm not a coach. But we had a great coaching staff that did wonderful with it. So there was that element. We have much bigger boys on our team versus in Duluth. But community-wise, and yes, it is hotter here, significantly hotter. But
Especially for mid-March.
Just wait.
Just wait. Are you living here? Are you living here permanently?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to get to experience it July and August in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Okay.
I moved down here. My sons are off camera right now, but and sit back, don't get on the camera. but we all moved down here. This is the future battle plan. Is the Louisiana Rouxgaroux,
Awesome.
And trying to build something beautiful here that we're very, very proud of, that this community is proud of, that our players are proud of, and I know we can do it. I'm very, very excited about it because right now we're just at the beginning. And we're about to do something that's pretty awesome that this entire city is going to fall in love with. That's for sure.
That's good.
Very good. I mean, we've been singing Louisiana Rouxgaroux praises, trying to get people to come to the games, and it looks like there was a few more people at this past week's game versus the preseason game, and so we're just hoping that as the wins start stacking up and that people start learning about Louisiana Rouxgaroux, that the community is just going to really embrace it.
Because the event itself is a lot of fun.
Right.
There's no complaints from anybody in attendance that there's not enough action. I'm not close enough. I don't know how many LSU football games I've sat in the 600s.
Right.
And I'm looking down with, my binoculars so I can tell who's what.
Yeah.
You don't get that in arena football.
No.
You are right there no matter where you're seated in the arena. You get a lot of football for the price. It's great.
Yeah, I got very, very used to always being in that small environment, being right next to all the action, which is what it is. Arena football is the most exciting version of football that there is. It's very, very engaging. You're catching balls the whole entire time. You're catching players the whole entire time if you're on that sideline. It keeps a faster pace game. It's supposed to be a much, much higher scoring game. The last game really wasn't.
It was a defensive battle. And Coach Cam was right. He said we're only going to give up 30-something points. And he was right. It was very defensive, which was rare.
I bet he didn't know it was going to be 26 in the first half.
Correct. And the fact that they were able
shut
to
them out in the second half.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They just stood on their heads for that whole entire end.
Speaking of the last game, give us your feedback from the GM perspective. What did you see in the first half versus second half? Kind of how did you feel about that?
So being the GM, I'm kind of fan number one, if that makes sense. I am emotionally invested in this so heavily, and when that whole first half was an absolute disaster, and watching it I was so frustrated, and we were near the end of the first half, and I was in the audience at the time because I was coming down from the concourse, and I kind of made my way down, and I was standing next to some people that were all sitting down with their arms across their chest, all frustrated, staring at 26-6. And something happened on the field. It was a bad pass or whatever, and I threw my paper that I was holding. And when I did it, the crowd around me said, I was so frustrated. But when we went into actual halftime, All the coaches went in there. They were irate. Owner went in there.
This is in the locker room.
This is in the locker
Okay, yeah.
room.
So Keith was in there.
He was in there. He was in there.
Give us a little bit. Give us the PG version of what went down.
The
in the locker
PG
room.
version is. The PG version is. We went in there, and obviously, everyone's angry.
Yeah.
They're either angry at themselves or they're angry at the person next to them. They're angry just at the situation, whatever it is. And I went in there to give some sort of a speech, but at the same time, they had 3 back-to-back coaches scream at them, and then an owner scream at them. And then when it finally kind of got around to me, I was like, well, I think enough screaming has happened around here. I don't know if screaming one more time is going to help anything. So I just kind of let the moment settle for a second, and then I finally stepped forward and I said, I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch this comeback. This is going to be such an incredible moment. This is going to be so exciting. This is going to be the most exciting comeback that I've ever seen, that this entire crowd has ever seen. We are going to make the entire arena world watch this. Mm-hmm. Golly, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, and it was.
And then when we came, it was too perfect. It was too perfect. That's why I was so frustrated at the end. I was like, it was right there, because it was so good. The comeback was so incredible, and then we were one.
So let's talk.
Let's close, away from a perfect game.
So let's talk about that very last play.
Yes.
I was standing on the sideline right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
That was textbook pass interference to me.
It was.
I do not understand why they didn't throw a flag on that.
I've noticed they let them play. They do let them play in this league so far. They definitely let them play.
They have been. At the same time, it was blatant.
But that was a game-altering play.
Right.
Correct.
And it's frustrating.
It was, watching it, and I was thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be a late flag when they talk about it. And then that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, it is overtime. They're here late. Referee's ready to go home. And first game of the season, maybe they're setting a precedent, like, oh, we're not going to get involved. There should have been a penalty. Regardless, it changed the outcome of the game.
Right. And I didn't. I know there was a lot of people who were protesting the situation, both fans as well as Keith was down there. I heard Keith. But to be honest, like when it happened, I just closed my eyes and kind of just took a step back. I was like, God. It was just such an emotional moment, and I knew that they weren't going to give it back to us. It is what it is.
Right.
But, it was what it was.
But
we just got to play it out.
As the GM of the team, and I have no idea, so just my ignorance. So in NAL, can you call the league office just like you can in the NFL and say, the refs got this wrong, and they need to be trained on what pass interference is?
Right. So that is what we, Keith and I, have done since that game.
Okay.
Is one, the league has got. They're talking to us about issues that they had. Mm-hmm. For instance, any different kind of fines. Like, you guys were showing skin here. You guys need to be, having your socks cover up your knees, everything else.
We've heard about the fine situation.
They're pretty strict on their fines, it seems like.
They are. In like the league that I came out of, everyone like waved their finger like, we're going to fine you. And I was like, all right, I don't believe it's not going to happen. All right. I was never afraid of fines before. It was always like, you can't do that. I was like, all right. Well, catch me next time or whatever. But when it came to this league, I knew that they were far more strict. They made it very blatant.
Yeah.
We are going to be very strict. And then the fines came out right away, and I was like, all right, well, we got to make sure we cover up those knees. For the most part, there really wasn't a whole lot of fines.
Yeah.
Can you disclose what the last week's fine ledger is, or is that something that?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. There was a couple different wardrobe, just to be generic. Yeah. There was a couple different wardrobe fines as well as a behavior fine.
We had an ejection.
Yeah.
Right. The good news about that is the moment happened, and they were able to see that it was just something that happened in the moment. It wasn't something that was done on purpose, if that makes sense. It was misread. So luckily we were able to talk to the league and try to get that kind of sorted out.
Yeah.
Same with some other different stuff. We were able to, on our end, work with the league. They have issues that they want to make sure everybody's staying in line with. That way they look professional. That way they are professional. Something that they're proud of. It's like we're trying to build something that we're proud of. So we are trying to stay in line and work with them. So they came at us with some different stuff, and then we came at them with some different stuff when it came to specifically these officials.
Yeah.
All right.
Where does the officiating crew come from? Are they fly in for the game, or where are they from?
No, they are semi-local.
Gotcha.
They are
regional.
Yes, exactly, regional.
So-
Go ahead.
I was down on the sideline for 90% of the game. One thing that I do have to say, commend you and Keith and Coach Blair and the just culture that y'all are building within the team. You had some players that were coaching other players, like, hey, get your head up. Game's not over. There's a lot of football left. And it was 26-6. It could have been easy to let that get to 100%. But, I mean, you had players that were stepping up to the plate to be the leader on the team and say, we've got a lot of football left and we're going to win this game. And just that was great to see as because I've now become a fan of the team.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm covering the team, but I'm a fan of the team.
Right.
And so just to see these locker room leaders stepping up and just kind of getting a peek inside the culture y'all are building, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Right. And matter of fact, we talked about it in our broadcast. The first half, they looked very flat. We talked about it. We're like, the energy's not the same as it was the week before. The week before, the energy was tremendous. In that first half, it was like we were. Are they nervous because it's a real game? And we couldn't figure out why it was so flat because there was no energy in it. But that second half, they came out right off the bat, and the energy was totally different from the get-go in the second half. But the first half, we talked about it several times. Like, we don't know what's going on here.
And that, I to be honest, I don't know what the issue was. I do know that we were able to counter it out in a couple different ways. One, the coaches were specifically trying to tell them through their ranting, but all at the same time, but being very specific. When we ask you to do something, that is what we were asking you to do. Don't try to outthink what I just told you to do. It is your job. When I say fan, you fan. Right. End of story. Don't try to outsmart me. I'm telling you what to do right now.
Yeah.
So that they needed to trust these coaches that they know what they're saying.
Right.
And trust each other. That was another big thing that I think that a lot of different players didn't trust, that when he's going to cover him.
Right.
You need to trust that he's going to cover him, because the problem is if you're going to leave your spot and you're going to try to go somewhere else, now you've left a completely different scenario wide open. So there was a lot more trust both in the coaches as well as themselves that whole entire second half. And you're right, the energy was there.
And the second half defense, like you said,
was
so much different.
It was lights out. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was the total shutout.
Now, you're talking about them trusting each other. How hard is it? Because this roster's pretty fluid, that you're changing pretty much on a weekly basis for what we hear that it can change. How hard is it for them to trust the guy when they only played with him for 2 or 3 days, practiced with him for 2 or 3 days? And is that something y'all work on in practice? Hey, you got to just trust this guy's going to be where we want him?
Well, that, to be honest, I think that's why we were having the situation we were in.
Yeah.
Is it they do only play with each other for about 2 or 3 weeks before we actually hit the ground running. So, and again, even practice and everywhere else, you see somebody not cover something, or you get frustrated because they did this or they did that. So then you don't trust them in the moment. When it came to it, it was just basically, or not even us, the coach is saying, I need you to trust each other. I need you to do this. Just carry it out. It will work if you just carry it out. That, and we believed we were going to win that game.
Yeah.
And somehow, I mean,
came down to as close as it could possibly be. What a great! We got overtime.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I don't. Other than winning, I don't know if you could have asked for a better first game.
I know.
A first game other than
Everyone
winning.
in attendance was hooked.
Right.
They're like, man, we got so much football out of that first real game. And I know Keith is dying to ask you about the personnel changes going into next week. So next week, talk us about our opponent Friday. It's coming up in a couple days.
Right.
And then Keith, I'm sure, wants to – I know there's some big announcement that you want to share with us.
You go ahead and talk about the game coming up, and I'll ask you after that.
You got it. So this Friday, we're bringing in a team that, to be honest, we don't know a whole lot about. The reason why is because last year they played in the AF1. They had different players. They had different coaches. They had a different scheme because they were playing with slightly different rules. So going into this game, we are kind of walking into it a little bit blind, and they get to see us. So it is a frustrating scenario that they get to watch the film on us, and we don't get to see them.
They have not played a game yet?
They have not played a game yet. But we did
wow.
I know. So we had our preseason game, which they have the opportunity to see that because we didn't record that and have that sent all out. But for actual league games, you have to do that. You have to video swap. So the good news is internally for us, we have had 2 games where we played together. We have had 2 games where we have learned to trust each other.
Right.
We got over that hump in that first regular season game. The preseason game, essentially they were a ringer. We beat the snot out of them. It is what it is.
They're the generals.
Sure. Exactly.
That's what we kept calling them, the generals.
Legitimately. So they come in here. They're having a good time. They get to be on a bigger stage instead of in some high school football field playing semi-pro. At the same time, they didn't have a chance, really.
Right.
And if they did, we had a much bigger problem on our hands. Versus this game, instead of just not really worrying about them or whatever else, or trying to test out some of these backup players, are you good enough to make the team? Who do we cut? It is now, these are the real players. This is our team. You have to trust that guy.
Right.
You have to make that kick. You have to make that kick.
Yes. That's a very important.
Any one of these kicks.
Just one of them.
Just any one of them. Golly.
That's all we're asking, just one.
Any one of them. So roster-wise, that is one of the major moves we made immediately. Is after the game, we knew that we were not going to go into anywhere else with that kicker. So we cut him immediately, and then we also let one of our quarterbacks go. We brought in a superstar. His name is Taz Wilson. He's been around for quite a while. He is a veteran. He is going to be able to bring us the leadership that we need on offense. He's going to bring us, because he's a veteran, he's not just skilled at what he is, but also he has the knowledge that we need as well.
Right.
I think we had different players that were on our team that maybe had one of the other. They were very skilled physically, but maybe did not have the knowledge to be able to carry out or be able to see. Vision, obviously, is always such a big deal for quarterbacks.
Right.
Not having the vision to be able to see the defense. This guy will be able to do that for us. He will be able to physically be able to carry out some of the amazing moves that Larry did last week during the whole entire second half. Larry stood on his head as well. He was incredible that entire.
Now, whenever he came in, did the first quarterback get hurt at the end of the first half, or did y'all just decide to make a change?
It was just a personnel change.
Okay.
We decided to.
Because we noticed he got hit on that 4th down, and he stayed down for a few minutes, and then we didn't see him again after. So we weren't sure if he was hurt or if if y'all just decided to make a change.
No, it was just we were trying to make a change to try to continue to stay in the game and win the game. So that's why that happened. It had nothing to do with injury or anything else.
Well, you talked about experience with Taz coming in. That's another thing we talked about last week was their quarterback on the other team, Amarillo's. He was a 3-year veteran according to the roster, and you could see that he actually seemed like he was running things a little bit better because he looked more confident and things like that. He just looked like he had the experience out there whenever the situation would break down. He didn't panic quite as much as I saw on anything else. So
when it came to bringing in this quarterback, while I cannot guarantee anybody ever that we're going to make it deep into the playoffs or some kind of championship, it should be your goal to to gun for the championship instead of to be better than average or average. Hey, we made it through the first season, we're average, whatever.
Right.
But we knew we could not get to where we needed to with the quarterbacks we have.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks we have are great backups, but they need to be under somebody to learn how to be great themselves. That's why we brought in this guy, because we believe that with this guy, we have a legitimate chance at making a deep run and actually playing for the championship.
Now, do y'all keep just 2 quarterbacks and that's it?
That is what we do.
Okay.
Yeah. But now we have 2 athletes that are on our team, both Larry and Churchill. That Churchill did great during the preseason game, threw 4 touchdowns during that game. And then Larry, I'm not sure how many touchdowns he threw last week, but he did awesome last week. So both of them are on our team. Now,
multiple roles.
Correct.
Yeah.
Playing wide receiver. So like they'll be listed as a wide receiver versus a quarterback. Whereas like in like the preseason game, we had 3 different quarterbacks that were out there, and they were labeled as quarterbacks.
Right. Okay.
Speaking of wide receiver,
yes,
we have a 6'7" monster as a wide receiver. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
That is a special football player.
He's a towering specimen of athlete. I mean, the dude is massive.
Quentin Williams, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome.
He is. Like Chris said, he is fun to watch.
Yes.
And he looks like a man amongst boys sometimes out there. He really does. And that first touchdown catch he had was really exciting. He looked well, and now of course he did drop one right there late in the game that we thought, oh my gosh, that might have changed the game. But that happens.
Right. And he, after the game, when we went to the after party afterwards over at Billiards, I was sitting with him, and he was apologizing to me for that situation. And I just wanted to encourage him and say, the reason why you were thrown to at the end was because of everything you did in the game so far.
Right.
That's why you were thrown to at the end.
Yeah.
You had already proven yourself. There was a whole entire situation that got wrapped around you. You almost caught that ball with everything that was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
You were thrown to.
Who else would you go to?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10, you throw to him.
Yeah, you got to, especially 2 yards, and you got to throw to him.
It's like it's game 7. You got to score 2 points. You're giving the ball to LeBron. You're going to hope that he gets it in. Now he's going to make it every time. I don't know.
No, LeBron's terrible at the last second shot.
Whatever. You're still going to go to him. It's the Kobe. It's the Michael Jordan. He's the guy who has been the whole game has been on fire. You're going to go to him every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have a guy on your back dragging you down. No pass interference. That's a different thing. But of course you go to him. Yeah. And it's those Type A personalities who are like, this is all on me. That one play. It's all they can think about. That's the guy you want.
And it was the right call. It was the right players. It was absolutely I wouldn't call it any different. It was the perfect play. Some people ask, like, should you have kicked it? No. This was absolutely right.
No matter, I don't even think that we were talking about. That's not even an option at this point, because you've already been
right.
If you count the preseason games and the regular season game, I think he made 1 or 2 out of 10 or something like that. So you're thinking there's no way we can't go into the thinking that's what's going to help us right here. We stand a better chance throwing to the 6'7" guy.
And even legitimately, even if you would have made that kick, fine, we get to keep rolling. But we had all the momentum.
Yeah.
And again, I believe it was the right play to the right player. It just was the scenario that it was.
Well, correct us then. Is the drop kick not worth 2 points, or is it only worth 1 point?
It's worth 2 points.
It's worth 2 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We thought
Also,
it was.
really hard to do, apparently.
Yes.
Really not easy.
Chris can do it.
Here's the. I mean, I don't want to bash anybody's brains in either, but like one of the reasons why we kept doing that is because that's what he was making in practice.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
Well, this is worth 2 points.
Yeah.
Then just only do this. If this is the one thing that you're really good at, it's worth more points. Do this every single time.
Right.
But then it didn't work.
I guess it's different when you've got 8,
I guess so.
200, 300-pound men rushing
And I
at
think
you.
that's really what it comes down to. Is
makes you nervous, I'm sure.
It's not just the lights and everybody. You're trying to make an actual point right now. I think they're coming to kill you now. So can you make it while they're coming at you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They're definitely coming to kill you because there's no light tackles in arena football.
No, and that's another thing.
It's so hard.
They seem to be, we've talked about, a lot more physical in arena. I mean, it is a physical game. And I think that's what people love about it so much. It's almost like the old school football, the Ronnie Lott hits and things like that. And that's what people love. I mean,
So Shreveport Bossier, actually the arena that y'all are playing in was originally built for a hockey team. But that same opening season, we had an indoor football team, the Shreveport Battle Wings.
Okay, yeah.
It was in the AF2.
I didn't realize
AF2.
I didn't realize it was the same time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and so it was, and I remember back then those games were
Wild.
I mean, they were wild. They were packed. The community truly supported it. So I do believe that for this team, what's wild to me is I talk to people all the time and they're like, what is Louisiana? We see you keep posting on Facebook about Louisiana Rouxgaroux. What is that? I'm like, how do you not know what this is? We've been screaming this for 6 months. And that probably has a lot to do with why you're here now, because we needed help to get the message out. But I think that if we get that message out and the wins start stacking, this community will rally around this team. And it will make these games so much fun.
What my job is, what my intent is to give you the most exciting 3 hours of your weekend. And if I can do that, if we can give you the most exciting 3 hours of your weekend, come Monday when they ask you, what'd you do this weekend? This is what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And as long as that keeps happening over and over and over again, we're going to be able to start putting people in these stands over and over and over again, because they're all going to hear about it from Brad and Jerry who went to these games, and they keep talking about it, how awesome it is, because we build fans if you come.
Right.
If you come, we build fans.
Absolutely. Yep.
And for $24,
Right.
you can't go have, 3 hours worth of fun.
I tell you what, you're not going to see for $24. You're not going to see a room full of knights hitting themselves with axes at halftime. I mean, an amazing halftime performance. Never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was so I saw like the social media posts, like, oh, they're going to have like
a cosplay.
Some type of, I thought it was going to be just some type of competition, and that was like the theme. It was
Sure.
And then I go into the back area and I see knights putting on armor. And I was like, oh, no, this is legit. And then they didn't stop when the MC was like, all right, guys, you won. And they're like, no, I'm going to take his head off. He just hit me with a mace.
Sure.
So the halftime was a lot of fun, too. So you get a lot of football action. You get some of the wacky stuff. There's nothing more entertaining, I think, happening in town. And this weekend, it's on Friday, right?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. For a team with the full moon logo, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Now, one thing that we did talk about that probably hurt this week, and it might hurt Friday night, is the spring break.
Sure.
That unfortunately is just the way it fell.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, if
fly
they're out of
back home
town, they're out
early.
of town.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I mean. We said it. If you're here, you're going to be a fan.
Right.
There's no doubt. You cannot not have a good time.
Yeah.
So
and that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want. So for instance, I've been to Duluth. I'm going to reference Duluth just simply because I just came from there.
Right.
So like we had our cheerleaders. And they were professional cheerleaders. We paid them. We didn't pay them a lot of money, but I don't know if you know this, the NFL doesn't pay their cheerleaders a lot of money either.
Right.
No, it's very minimal. Yeah,
right.
I saw that.
So we paid our cheerleaders actually more than the Minnesota Vikings. We had Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders on our football team.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we did a lot of other stuff for them as well. We had all these different partners. So we had all these, they had their own hair company and makeup company and nail company, all this different stuff. So one of their sponsors, she didn't like football. She hated football. She didn't care about football at all. But she was one of our biggest advocates. She told everybody in the world about the Harbor Monsters because it was so much fun. She didn't like football. It's not that you didn't like football, for starters. It's that you didn't like all the boring stuff about football. Here we boiled it down. So you got a high-scoring game with all the big hits. If you like defense, these guys are walled in. There's no escape. You're going to get hit. If you like big scores, we got wild catches going up and over the wall into the audience and all this different stuff. So we have the most exciting version of offense and defense. And then on top of it, we're going to try to stuff in every other fun thing we can do. You got the cheerleaders out there, or the mascot, or we're giving away something, or we're shooting T-shirts out, whatever it is. I don't want you to think now's the time to go up and go to the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that does happen, that means I need to change something to make it so that it's effective. So there was like one act, I think, during the preseason game, and it happened, and I was like, I flipped through my pages, like, how many times is this going to happen? And it was going to happen like 3 more times. Like, cut that entirely out. That's not going to happen at all for the rest of this show. Anything that we can do to try to make it more and more exciting, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Now, go ahead, Keith.
Speaking of the preseason game, I don't know if y'all talked about this last week because I missed it, but the catch in the end zone where a toe is touching the top of the wall and he's laying in the lap of the guy and makes the end zone. That is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. And I think it was Quentin Williams that made that catch.
Probably. I don't remember at the time.
I don't remember exactly who it was either, but it was incredible. And Chris and I talked about that. That's almost how you become a fan.
Yes.
That catch.
Oh, those 3 kids that the wide receiver
that got
fell in their
blurred.
lap. Yeah, they are fans for life.
Yeah.
Right. There was a catch in the last team that I was with where it was in the far corner. It went up and over the wall and into the suites, okay? And this was one of our first games ever, so a lot of people hadn't seen it yet. So when he went up over the edge in our league, if you come up with the ball, the refs didn't see however it happened. If you come up with the ball, it's a catch. That's the only way we can ever, it's the only way you can predict that it happened or not. You know what I mean? You come up with the ball, did he catch it or not? He came up with the ball. It's a catch. So
the NFL would do so much better if they adopted these catch rules.
Nobody knows what a catch in the NFL is, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, like he goes up and over the wall, grabs it one-handed. The defensive guy goes over with him. They take out chairs and drinks go flying everywhere, all this different stuff. And the whole place is just dead silent. And then up comes his arm, and the whole place just goes berserk.
Wow,
just berserk. Awesome. And I ran over there to that suite to check on him to see how they were doing. Like, you guys doing all right? He took out the table and all this different stuff.
Do you need medical attention? Everyone here good?
And they came back. This was the greatest moment ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be here forever because like they realized like we're in the game.
Yeah.
Not only we were in the moment, like the best moment of the entire game.
They could go viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So and not just that, just like their feeling of being in this moment right now was epic. You weren't just watching it from row 105, whatever.
Right.
You were literally in the last play.
There was a family sitting in one of the booths, suites up by the field, and we were in that last series, getting ready to go into overtime.
Yeah.
And one of the players got hit real hard and came into the booth, and I was in the empty booth next to him, and there's 2 little girls sitting right there. And I said, "Did y'all like that?" And she was like, "This is awesome!" And she was like all in because like the player had flipped over the wall and was in their suite, and she was just like, "This is awesome!"
And speaking, one of the greatest things that people don't talk about, you get to keep the ball.
Yes.
That's one of the. I wish somebody would kick one all the way up to the concourse where we're at, because I need a ball. I need a ball up there, and I keep begging for one, but. That's like going to a baseball game. You get to keep the ball.
Yeah.
I mean that as a fan, adult or a kid.
Right.
That is a great thing.
Absolutely.
To keep the ball. Hey,
right.
Look what I got.
It's a big deal in this game.
Yeah.
There's another league the AF1. That you do not do that.
Really?
You have to throw it back, or they come. And sometimes, if you're a good football team, you buy a replica that looks very similar to it, and you go and say, "Hey, I had a bunch of players sign this one. Would you like this one instead, or whatever else?" To try to get your regular ball back. But that is something that the NAL leans into very hard, which they should.
Yeah, it makes it more fun.
Yeah. Being able to keep that ball like a home run baseball, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool ball in the first place, but everybody wants a ball, and I have to make sure that we don't have a whole bunch of bleeding hearts out there just giving every ball away because we have to have enough balls by the end of the season.
How many do you start? Do you start the game with? Is there just a rack like in a 3-point contest? You have to put a full of football?
Wes has asked this question on every game. What is the ball budget? The ball budget has to be huge.
Keith is going to go broke just on balls.
The ball budget is big. The ball budget is big, which is why you're supposed to find a sponsor to slap on that. That way, somebody else paid for all the balls. That's another ball brought to you by Ford or General Motors or whatever it is.
Right.
But
so if you're out there, there's a ton of people that could have your ball on their mantle.
That's right.
For the next 40 years.
Yes.
It's missing your company name.
Call Steve Walters.
Yeah.
We can get
Correct.
you
We'll
to.
get you a great deal.
Exactly. Yeah, you're sitting on some kid's mantle right now. Is
Yes.
going to be your logo every single day.
He's going to look at it before he goes to bed at night, remembering the greatest day of his life, catching a football.
Now, speaking of sponsors, last week we asked Coach Cam what his prediction would be for next week for our Red Rover Top Dog Player of the Game. So now we're going to put you on the spot. Who is your prediction for Friday's Red Rover Top Dog?
Who's my prediction?
We had a lot of roster
Right,
changes.
right. Obviously, the easy answers is your quarterback or your, we just talked about Q multiple times. So to not lean in that obvious direction, because again, I think Taz really is going to surprise the crowd how good he is, and now you're going to have Q having an even better quarterback throwing at him. We're going to be able to light him up on offense. I'm going to go with a gentleman named Scott. This is his first name. I yell at him all the time, and I just scream Scott all the time. Last name Scott.
Last name's LaRodrick.
Yes, LaRodrick. LaRodrick.
Defensive back.
Yeah, I've watched him over and over again, and I think he's a superstar. I think he's going to bring one back to the house.
Okay.
And he's going to be in a big moment. I screamed at him at the end of the game. I said, I want a touchdown. Give me a touchdown, because that would have solved everything.
That would have solved everything.
That would have solved it all.
And either way, he still got the interception.
Yeah.
But he didn't bring it back to the house. But when he did, I was like, oh, my God, I'm just predicting this whole entire game.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That was the final play of the regular.
Yeah. But that's why I screamed at him, give me a touchdown. So when he caught it and then started coming back, and then he lateraled it off, I was like, oh, he legitimately is trying to get us a touchdown. That's why I got even more excited. I was like, it doesn't matter.
Well,
it was almost too perfect.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Coach Cam's prediction was D2, who ended up becoming the NAL Defensive Player of the Week. So I think he took the easy route out when he picked D2 as his top dog, but it ended up working out. So,
yeah, I think this week we're going to be able to see a lot more out of these players in general. Any of the big names that you saw before are going to get that much bigger and become that much more bright because of being in the scheme more, learning to be able to trust each other more, as well as the other different players learning that this is our guy.
Yeah.
Hit him. Or whatever else. This is going to be an awesome game. I'm very, very excited about it.
And I'll tell y'all, I've got two favorites already.
Go ahead.
Quentin Williams.
Sure.
I think you say they call him Q, so he'll be called Q from here on out. And Levante Hall.
Okay.
I hope he's still on the team.
Yes, he is. He is.
He is a hitter.
I mean, in this world, it's a very, very short lifespan.
He is a hitter. I mean, I've seen him destroy some wide receivers going across the middle these two games so far.
That's
so
awesome.
I've noticed him. I'm a fan of his and Quentin Williams. So
when we left halftime, because I made the one speech. And then as we were standing in the hallway, and I didn't want the moment to die because everybody else was coming out. The bad guys were coming out, going down the hallway. And we had a kind of curtain up in the way. And then I turned around and yelled at them one more time. And then I screamed at the defense, I want bodies. So they
can hear that.
Right. So bring me bodies.
Sean Payton is paging in. He loves that.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, I've got a program. You might be interested.
You have to call it something different, though.
Poor Brett Favre.
And that was a minute.
Wait, are you a Minnesota Vikings fan?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
yeah,
Which, by the way, I just go ahead and he should have never thrown that pass back across his body. I loved it. It was the greatest pass ever. But he should have never done it. Y'all are already in field goal range, and he throws it back across his body.
I'm glad he did, because it ended up getting us a Super Bowl.
I'm glad he did, too. But I'm thinking, how do you make that throw?
Peyton Manning made the same throw.
That drive, though, when that drive happened, because we had lost the game in that.
Yeah.
You can't have a running back fumble 4 times in one game and win. It is what it is. But when he was making that last drive, I was just staring at that screen. At the screen, I couldn't think. All I could think is, I can't believe that he's going to win this game for us. Because and then of course it goes across the body is what it is. But when he was driving down that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's refusing to lose.
Yeah.
We are going to win this game. We're going to go to the Super Bowl.
And believe me, every Saint fan was thinking, we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game.
What's so funny is that's a generational game for all the Saints.
Yeah.
And then you come in from Minnesota and had a complete opposite experience.
It is a generational game.
But to be fair,
in Minnesota as well.
To be fair, they got their revenge several years later with a play that every time they turn on Sports Center, they want to throw the Minneapolis Miracle up on the screen, and I'm just like, make that go away.
How does somebody whiff on a receiver? He just, on the last play of the game, he just
Stephon Diggs broke all of New Orleans' hearts.
That was also a very amazing play. Yes, you're right.
Matter of fact, I was at church, and I was watching it on my phone, and I was just getting the updates. So, yeah.
Were you able to hold everything in?
Well, I wasn't watching the game. I was watching ESPN Gamecast, so I was just seeing second and third, whatever.
Gotcha.
So anyway, there's 3 seconds left to go, and y'all are 55 yards away or whatever it was. So I'm like, okay. And then it stays at 3 seconds forever. And I'm like, what is going on here? What? I'm trying to refresh. All of a sudden, I see 6, and I was like,
no.
how? And then I get home, and I see it, and I'm like,
Fun fact, I was in this room.
That is the most Saints loss ever right there.
I was in this room right here when that play happened.
Yeah.
And
so we're even, 1-1. How's that?
All right. So now that we've shared our NFL experience from two different sides of the table, tell us about the game Friday. Who are we playing? What time's kickoff? What do we got?
You got it. So we're playing against the Southwest Kansas Storm. Again, like we had kind of said earlier on, they are a new team to this league. They are kind of brand new in general. They have different coaches, different players, everything else. So they are going to be a wild card that we don't know when we're going in what we're going to be seeing. Okay. So we got to come gunning at them with everything that we have. There's going to be this Friday at 7 o'clock down at Brookshire Grocery Arena right here in Bossier.
You can buy tickets at the box office. You don't have to go to Ticketmaster. Now, if you just want to pay an extra $10, $15, $30, $500 in fees, go to Ticketmaster. But you can't go to the box office directly, right?
Legitimately, anybody who is listening to this right now, do not buy your tickets online.
Oh.
Go to the arena. Buy it at the arena. You can even call into the arena, and you can even call in, and they'll have your tickets waiting at will call.
And you'll get great seats.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do not buy online. You do not need to give the Evil Empire a whole bunch of fees, and then you take a $24 ticket and then turn that into a $40 ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. So buy your tickets at the box office. I'm gonna edit you just a little bit. Don't get there at 7:05.
Yeah,
get there early.
Get there early. Got to get there at 6:15. SOBO Live has our coaches show in the concourse as you come in the front door. You got to give us your best howl as you come in. That's like a new thing that we've started doing, I guess. It's
all right.
Kids love it, so we've leaned into it. So
it's one or the other. Either you love it or you're immediately running
across the concourse.
6:15 is the full moon kickoff pregame show. It's a lot of fun. It's right when you walk in. You can't miss us.
That's awesome. So,
and but yeah, so looking forward to it. Any final words?
Just that this is going to be a wild game.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited.
That kid was excited. That
kid.
Yeah, he was super excited. Well.
And so he's going to be the mascot.
Yes. So we do have a mini mascot.
Wow.
We legitimately have. Yeah. Sorry.
So if you couldn't hear that, we're going to have a big mascot and a mini mascot. You got to be there Friday.
We need to have the mini mascot show up for our pregame.
We can absolutely do that.
Yes.
We can get him on camera.
Yes, we need the mini mascot for our pregame at 6:15. That is awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's a family affair, man.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about
Dad's
the family.
GM of the football team. I mean, it's got to be excited for him.
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you Friday, 7 o'clock. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, see you then.
Thanks.
We appreciate you all joining us for the Bonvenu Coaches Show. We'll see you on Friday.
Peace.